I'm replacing my hard sweat equity
Yeah.
for a shortcut. And even his question says it seems like they're cheating. And I agree.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not doing the hard labor.
This is Ask Dr. E, where Dr. Michael Easley answers your biblical or theological questions in 10 minutes or less. Today's question is about AI. We've probably gotten 6 AI questions in the last 2 weeks, I bet. So we might jump around a bit. But today's question comes from Kim, and he writes, I watched your YouTube session on if Christians should use AI. So we'll link that one in the show notes. And I have a dilemma currently with music. I only listen to faith-based Christian music, and I recently had found some new music that I'm very much enjoying. I always do research on the band. This is so thoughtful. I would never think to do this. I always do research on the band, song, music to ensure it is morally within context of scripture and the message is directed about Jesus. However, I found out that this new Christian faith music that I was listening to was AI created. The publisher of the music on social media has openly admitted that the songs are AI created. The messages in the songs are, in my belief, to be strong Christian messages. Anyway, he goes on to say he has some reservations. He doesn't know if he's overreacting, but it scares him a little bit that, AI is using to create this and it's past someone's work. Would it be wrong to let AI help us create something that we feel are unable to express? That's a scary question to me. Would it be wrong to let AI help us create something that we feel we are unable to express? It seems that we're cheating in some way by using AI.
So we're going to link the Kirby Anderson interview again, and we're also going to link a paper that Kirby Anderson wrote on this. It's a very helpful, it's downloadable as a PDF. Let's talk about the pros and cons of AI. Technically speaking, when you use any search engine, Google, Safari, or whatever, you're using AI.
Totally.
You're even before the Chat GPT and algorithms came in, you're using a form of AI because it's taking those words and it's doing a search to find what topics have as close. If you use parentheses or brackets or what we call Boolean searches, it refines it. So you're already using parameters without knowing it. Now, if you, and I've done this test before, I put Google, DuckDuckGo, Brave, Chrome, Bing, I've opened all these windows and I've put the exact same phrase in, you get different results. And it's politically and philosophically driven.
Yeah.
So we're chained with that. Even with Brave, which is a pretty semi-encrypted search process, they're very political.
Sure.
And so you only get certain results.
It's their algorithm.
Kirby points out that the biggest danger in AI is the lack of ethics. Because a machine doesn't think ethically. So if you use Chat GPT, you might get some. Remember early on when they asked for a picture of George Washington, and it came back as this kind of multi-ethnic guy who had dark skin.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, it was really bad. So they pulled back because the programmers, that's their orientation, the way they look at life.
Right.
A number of studies, and the most recent one, Kirby and I talked about, MIT's Media Lab. I think they took, I forget the number of students, was it 64 comes to mind? But they did an experiment with long language learning, Chat GPT, and then people just writing stuff. Okay. And let me just read what it says. They discovered subjects who used Chat GPT over a few months had the lowest brain engagement and consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels. Meaning, when they put their brain activity under an MR, they saw a diminish in our brain activity.
It's scary for kids.
It's super frightening. John Piper, about a month ago, did this thing with, he asked ChatGPT, and you can watch this on YouTube, please compose a 30-second prayer to God in the spirit and theology of Don Carson.
Totally.
In praise to the glory of God's grace. We can drop the link in. It's 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah.
And Piper reads the prayer.
Yeah.
Piper-esque the way he passionately reads. And it goes, that was a great, amazing prayer.
Yeah.
And then he goes off and he goes, it's not a prayer. Yeah. It's a machine.
Yeah.
It's sort of a rope-a-dope, you know, because the language is perfect.
Right.
The algorithm did what he asked. Now, if you were to type those search engines in there without ChatGPT and just say Don Carson, prayer, whatever, you wouldn't get that crisp of a response, but it's the same thing. So we need to understand AI is not yet sentient.
Right. Well, and
not yet. It's thinking, but it's not thinking for itself. Now there's a couple of stories where they can't turn it off.
I know.
So that has to be more with backdoor technology. But let's go on here. So, and let's go ahead and put that YouTube link in the program as well. It's easy to find. Now, when you write a song or a sermon, I would say this is a different issue because you're extrapolating the 10, 20, 30 hours you might do writing an exposition or the 100 hours or 10 minutes to write a song with another artist.
Yeah.
You're taking the creativity in the individual way.
Yeah.
You're taking the mind of, I want to write a song about God's love or about suffering for Jesus' sake. And so I'm replacing my hard sweat equity for a shortcut. And even his question says it seems like they're cheating. And I agree.
Yeah.
You're not doing the hard labor. The other thing is theological guidelines are pretty hard to measure if you're just using what the computer says. And I think you have to wrestle with tensions like we answered a question on end times and Revelation, what we know the text says and what it doesn't say. You wouldn't have that nuance.
Yeah.
Third, it's lazy.
Yeah.
It's very lazy, which the MIT study proved. And lastly, because we're made in the image of God, I think we need to rest in the fact that he gave us a mind, a will, the ability to read Scripture, the ability to study, to wrestle with things, to talk among our community of believers with things. And if you're eliminating that with AI, then I think it's you're basically saying I'm no longer mirroring God's image. I'm seeing what the algorithms are going to tell me at the end. So Elon Musk might have been right.
Yeah.
The AI has gone too far.
Yeah.
I don't think we can stop it now. I think the cat's out of the bag. The cats are out of the bag. But I do think if you're parenting, you need to watch over your kids when they have to write their first draft or essay. I mean, think of the kids used to steal from Wiki.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's wild. I will say the other side to that I'm grateful for is it's not hard to throw a kid's paper in AI or, I mean, there's been software prior to ChatGPT coming out of where you can see if a student has plagiarized.
Yes. But do you want to do that with every assignment?
Well, no. And that, I mean, it is horrible. And like my kids' homeschool tutorial, when they get older and upper grades, they have to sign a pledge, saying that they won't use ChatGPT or AI or whatever, which I'm sure tons of schools do, but are they?
In that MIT study, there was a further comment. They had a couple of professors. Now, it wasn't a lot, but they read some of these papers and they said it was accurate, but the language betrayed the student. And sometimes they said there was no personalization. It was very technical in the way the response was written.
Yeah.
But that was just two teachers out of, I think, again, I could have the number wrong, 64 pops in my head. But I mean, when I was a kid, the film strips, not movies, the ones you clicked, were a contentious thing in churches.
Wow.
Do you use film strips or not?
Yeah.
Much less movies.
Yeah, wow.
When Daniel Fuller first went on Christian radio, what years in the 50s, maybe 40s, that was a, Prince of the Power of the Air.
Yeah.
Christian message on radio.
Yeah.
So this is exponentially different, but I think it's not the first time we've had a question, how do we use technology? How do we use it? And is there a good thing for AI? Medically, I'm sold.
Interesting. Yeah.
You take data from, X number of patients on liver disease, and you can run it through AI and test drugs through AI. Yeah. Costs go down, errors go down, speed.
Yeah.
Just think of the calculations that take people, analysts, hours to do can be done in seconds.
Right.
So I think there's certainly value in these supercomputing things, but with everything, it's a two-edged sword.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we answered your question, Ken.
Best I can do.
Good luck.
Look at Kirby's link, and Kirby will address some of this. And by the way, we put in a plug for Probe Ministries before, but Kirby Anderson is brilliant, and he's got lots of great resources on these kinds of topics.
Absolutely. All right. If you've got a question for Dr. E, call us, text us, email us. We'd love to hear from you.